Welcome into the In the Money podcast for Saturday, November 17th. Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Wagering Development, as we take a look at the Saturday card at Churchill Downs. The feature race, the Grade 3 River City Handicap, as well as the late pick 4. River City's at 1 1/8 on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. By the way, if you were listening last week, I had the pick 4 for $388 down at Churchill, so hopefully you cashed on that one. Jim and I will try to see if we can make you a little more holiday money today. And Jim, in the 8th race, this is a pretty well-matched group, I thought, in the River City. Where did you land?
Yeah, the 10th race, the pick 4 starts with the 8th race. So the River City's the 10th. I thought it was well-matched, but I had to go with Mr. Misunderstood. I think the record at Churchill, the 3 for 3, the drop-in class out of the Shadwell Turf Mile, dropping back from a Grade 1 to a Grade 3. He hasn't run a Grade 3 since the fairgrounds. Had a couple races at Kentucky Downs, Ellis getting ready for Kentucky Downs, and he loves Churchill. Coming into the race off 3 decent efforts and dropping back to a level where he should dominate in here. I'm going to single him in the pick 4, but on the inside the race, I'm going to use big changes underneath. Brad Cox's horses won 5 in a row, including one at Keeneland. I can't believe he went off at Keeneland at 10-1 off a 4-race win streak in an allowance race, but he did, and nobody respected the form coming from Indiana, Evangeline Downs, Mountaineer, and Louisiana Downs. That's the last 4 races he won before he won Keeneland. So you got to consider him in here. He's won 5 in a row. So I'm going to use him underneath. I'm also going to use Oscar-nominated the Maker horse and Sir Dudley Diggs, the other Ramsey horse in here, to fill out the trifecta. But I'm going to take a stand with Mr. Misunderstood here at the pick 4.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same way you are. The only other one I would throw in here within the race is Master Marion. Can occasionally run a big one. I think the 2 Maker horses, you might get a little bit of a price and help boost the exacta, but I think Mr. Misunderstood looks awfully good in here. I think he's going to be better at 1 1/8 than he's been at 1 mile, too. I think that'll help. And the last race, when he ran in that Grade 1, he had a horrible post for 1 mile at Keeneland and beat half the field, so he really ran pretty decently, I thought, in the Shadwell Turf Mile. So I think the class relief ought to serve him well in here. 8th race is where the late pick 4 starts, so take us through your pick 4 ticket starting in race 8.
Okay, I had 3 horses in the first leg, and I really can't choose between them. I think Mr. Darcy, the 6 horse, Chris Hartman's barn has been hot. Started out hot at Keeneland, has continued. He's got 3 wins at Churchill. Went off as the favorite at Churchill last time out on a sloppy track, and ran a decent second. Got beat by Create Again, who just romped over that sloppy track. So I think Mr. Darcy has a good shot in here. I think Cabin John here, this race is written for 3-year-olds or 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races, or 3-year-olds. So you've got a lot of horses in here with only 2 lifetime wins. Cabin John fits because he's a 3-year-old, but he has 3 lifetime wins, including a win at Hawthorne last out. So he's run well on synthetic, and he's run well on dirt. So I'm going to use Cabin John here as my second choice. And Eben, the 1 horse, dropping down from a $100,000 claimer, putting a sale tag on, should be more competitive at this level out of that 1 hole. So I'm going to use 1, 6, 7 in the first leg. Second leg is really competitive. I narrowed it down to 4 horses. Desert Honey's the 3, Cap Gun the 4. Go Google yourself the 6, and the top pick is My Lady Curling the 8 for Brad Cox. Brad Cox is going to get his 1,000th win sometime this week. So he's due to heat up there. He's done better this past week after starting out really cold at Churchill. So My Lady Curling is the top pick there, but going 3, 4, 6, 8. Singling the 3, Mr. Misunderstood in the 10th race. And depending on your budget, this maiden special weight, you got to go deep here. I couldn't get it down to less than 7. That's going to be a $42 ticket. If you follow my rule that you never take more than half the field without hitting the all button costs you $72. But the 7 horses I used were the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 12. Eskinfort's intriguing. Drew a bad post here, but the horse really didn't have a very good trip last time out. Stumbled start, set it in a stretch, and Brilliant Racing is high on this 2-year-old colt, but drew the 12 hole, so it's going to be up against it again. So I suppose my top ticket here will be Frolic More for Dallas Stewart at 5, but I can't make a stand here. So my pick 4 ticket with 7 there is 167 with 3468 with 3 with 135 7 9 11 12 for $42.
I'm kind of thinking along some similar lines. I'm not going to go quite as deep in the last leg. I am going to go 4 deep to start. I like Cabin John, the one you talked about, that 86 buyer in the first start off the layoff. Thought that looked awfully strong in there. And you get Giroux and cutting back in distance. Taruka, horse I think 7 furlongs, a mile. That's the best distance for that one. The Ramsey Maker recent claim facilitator, the 5 I'm going to use. And the 6, Mr. Darcy, for the Hartman stable. Starter allowance horses, sometimes horses dropping out of those races, find this kind of spot softer. Next race, I took 5 horses. Miss Mimosa, maybe the win pick if I was betting a win pick in here. I like My Lady Curlin as well. Go Google yourself. Has run some nice races at Churchill. Desert Honeys and Auspicious Babe, the Dallas Stewart Barnes, had a nice fall meet. So I'm going to use all 5 of those. And then single Mr. Misunderstood. Last race, I like the horses that have experience when they're going 7 furlongs. So there's 3 of those that I like. Wrath, the 4, Frolic More, the 5, Laughing Fox, the 9. And then Equivocal is a first-timer for Windstar, and they get Giroux riding. And Giroux, there's a Brad Cox horse in here that's a first-timer, and Giroux is Cox's guy, and yet he ends up on the Windstar horse. So I thought that was intriguing, so I'm going to use Equivocal. If you've got the budget, add the Cox horse, the 11 also. But I'm going to go 2, 5, 6, 7 with 3, 5, 6, 8, 10 with 3 with 1, 4, 5, 9 for my late pick 4 ticket. Best of luck with your Saturday wagers, and we'll be back next week for the holiday wrap-up to the fall meet at Churchill here on the In the Money podcast or KeenelandSelect.com.